Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Kami, Yami and Shinigami decided to take baby Naruto away from Konoha, the movie. Subscribe if you enjoy the video. Let's start the story. Fuin. Minato shouted and gasped as his soul was sliced by the Shinigami who seals the Kyuubi inside his son's small body and weeps internally when he realizes what he has done to his own son and turns toward the Shinigami and pleads with her. Shinigami-sama, I beg of you not to let my son stay here. The village will try to kill him or turn him into a weapon. Please don't do this to me. Minato sobbed like a broken man turned desperate. Shiny stared at Minato with sad eyes before gasping as she felt the godlike power radiating from Naruto and realized what that meant. He's the one to rule the heavens, the one me and my sisters have been searching for. She thought happily and looked toward Naruto and then Minato who looked back with tear-streaked eyes. Minato-kun, I will give you another deal, just have to wait for my sisters to come. Minato nodded happily, feeling that this deal would be one he can't refuse and hopefully his son will have a happy life. He covered his eyes as two pillars of light appeared and soon the flash died down and his jaw dropped with a blush seeing the women before him. The black-haired one stood at 5'9", she wore a black silk kimono with a white obi sash and had black Shaolin shoes, her bust was S-cup. She had long pitch black waist-length hair, her skin was a slight pale color and her pitch black eyes that chilled him to his soul. The silverish white-haired woman wore the opposite of the black-haired female and had purple eyes with a black sclera and seemed to radiate a calm and serene and he gasped as he saw the kanji appear on their kimonos. Kami and Yami whispered, getting nods before they set their sights on Naruto who was looking at them with blazing orange eyes and a slit pupil, Naruto chakra mode eyes, and had extended whisker marks. So this is your heir Kami-chan? Yami said softly, looking at Naruto with a warm smile. Kami walked toward Naruto who looked at her with a cute baby look and was picked up by the deity. She gazed down at the air of the heavens with a smile as their eyes locked with each other and he smiled at her before falling asleep. Kami turned to Minato who looked happy. Minamoto-kun, our offer is that you help us raise Naruto-kun. He needs you, but will there be a bit of a problem? Kami blushed and Minato felt very nervous while Yami and Shiny giggled pervertedly. I will have to turn you into a female because Naruto-kun is the heir to heaven and a god in his own right means you won't be related to him anymore, thus it will allow him to love his own family, if you know what I mean. Minato blushed pink at that and nodded. I sorta expected that since Kushina kept commenting I looked like a girl. He pouted arms folded getting sniggers from Shiny and Yami while Kami's eyes were twinkling with mirth and Minato glowered at her making Naruto wake up and giggle. Minato sighed sadly. I can't ever believe I was so naive to ever think this village would honor my wish, especially if Hiruzen is still around. He growled, getting serious nods from the sisters. I agree we have been watching that old monkey if Naruto was left in his hands, he would be conditioned to serve the Sandaime for saving him all those times when the mobs would attack him. Kami's eyes turned cold and Minato felt horror run through his body, that was the life he would have left Naruto to. Oh Kami-sama, I am sorry Naruto I'm so fucking stupid. He said sadly and Kami placed a hand on his shoulder calming him down. We have other bad news. Kushina has left the village with her daughters because Sandaime lied to her about Naruto being dead. Minato felt his body freeze up in shock, sadness, and finally rage as his hands were clenched so hard they were bleeding and he moved to go kill that old bastard only Shiny stopped him. Minato he won't die by your hand Naruto deserves that privilege when he gets older, you can get a few licks in if he allows his blonde queen to Shiny smirked and snapped her fingers and suddenly Minato blinked as his body got slimmer, curvier and voluptuous. She gasped as her crotch burned and her chest gained eye-cup boobs. Mina looked at her boobs and smirked at Shiny who raised an eyebrow. I got a bigger rack than you. She smirked smugly causing a tick mark to appear above Shiny's eye, Kami, and she laughed their asses off like hyenas as Shiny chased Mina around but kept missing because she kept flashing around her. What of Jiraiya? Kami frowned at that and shook her head. He only cares about peeing, research, and a fake prophecy. Yami shook with anger as she hated manipulative people like that. Mina growled at the apparent betrayal of his sensei and gave Konoha a look of disdain before walking toward Kami and Shiny and Yami. Let's depart, that old monkey saw us and is doing his moral speech of morality. She growled hatefully. He may think Naruto-kun will be here, but he'll be in for a big surprise when he gets trained by the big three. Kami smirked, making Mina turn toward her surprise. You mean Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Never mind I never expected you to not do things halfway. Mina said playfully, getting laughter from everyone except a sleeping Naruto, and vanished in a white light while a spiky white-haired man seethed in anger before leaving to report this. Kami's realm. Mina looked in awe at the throne room of these three deities but tensed when she saw several other figures and almost grimaced at the insane power levels of the individuals in the room and walked beside Kami, stealing her nerves. Kami and her sisters smirked seeing Mina's toughness and are glad they thought of this. Kami-sama, you're back. A brown-haired man in his 30s having sea blue eyes and had a brown goatee and mustache wearing a pair of white pants with a blue sash having glowing tribal markings on his body, arms, and forehead along with holding a golden trident that swirled with water asked. Kami smiled. Yes, I have returned to Poseidon-kun. I have my heir with me. I present to you Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senjuichi. The others saw Naruto's baby form and gasped as his power was tightly held within and it was out of this world. It surpassed theirs by 1,000 times. Hades, who had his battle armor on, asked a question. Kami-sama, who will you teach young Naruto? Kami smirked and pointed at Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. You and your two brothers will mentor and train him in using his god powers, along with departing your knowledge upon him. That means everything he needs to become the strongest in the universe. Not even your parents, grandfathers, and uncles will be able to stand up to him. Zeus's glowing wide eyes twinkled with joy and anticipation and looked at Naruto fondly. I'll also have my son Kratos, and Ares will teach him. They will like his ruthless nature which I can already sense from him. Zeus smirked, getting equal smirks from everyone. Naruto-chan's training in the shinobi arts will be Mina Namikaze and the Rakuto Sennin. Kami declared making Mina gasp as a white-haired man wearing monk robes with samurai armor over his attire and had purple metallic ringed eyes with a peaceful aura around him and jumped when he just phased into view beside her. He's faster than me. Rakuto looked over Mina with a smirk. Yes, I am faster because that's my natural speed, along with the enhancement of gravity, weight, and resistance seals, something you never thought of trying, but I can train you along with Naruto, as long as you promise to protect him. Mina nodded. I promise to Rakuto-sama. He smiled before pulling out a red orb and threw it on the ground and watched as it formed into a tall woman with fox ears, yet no tails, and she looked shocked and stunned. What happened to my tails? She shouted in horror at losing her precious tails gone. Your tails were absorbed by Naruto-sama, Kasara. Zeus replied with an emotionless voice. Kasara's eyes widened. What am I doing in Kami's realm? She asked since this man could destroy her if he wanted to and blinked at the suffix and turned her eyes on a white-haired baby who was sleeping silently in Rakuto's arms. Naruto here absorbed all of your tails, adding it to his own natural reserves, which I assure you will surpass even the Juopus by 1,000 times. Kasara looked at the baby with shock and for some reason felt attracted to. I'll train him as well. He's bound to develop his own, making him a Hanyu god hybrid, plus I feel he may very well be an excellent ruler. She smirked, getting a round of grins and smirks from everyone. The Sandane will rue the day he dares to try to manipulate our king. Aphrodite said coldly, getting flares of power from everyone at the audacity of a weak human like the third fire shadow. Time skip 15 years later, sitting in the middle of a green lush garden, sat a white-haired teenager who wore a black bodysuit with black and gold accents, Naruto's Kyuubi chakra mode clothing. His hair had went past his neckline, while two fringes shaped into horns on the front of his head and had black shinobi sandals and had tanned skin, extended whisker marks, blazing orange slitted eyes, and sharp fangs. His body was that of a runner and a fighter built for flexibility, speed, and power, insane amounts of it, and with lots of control added into the mix. He had studied under the most powerful gods, goddesses, shinobi, and demons to become the way he was today. He was cold and emotionless, yes, but he is calm and happy when he is with his fiancées Kami, Yami, Shiny, Aphrodite, Athena, Artemis, Thalia, and other female girls who found his cool, charming, sweet, smooth side to be hot and got to know him better as Naruto, not as Kami's heir, and he was a real gentleman. He made sure they were happy and even took them on dates and dinner using their shape-shifting forms to hide their identities, and soon it bloomed to full love. Naruto's older brother figures Ares, Helios, Kratos, Hercules, Apollo, Hephaestus, and had sister figures in some of the hunters under Artemis who were his own family. He cherished them to death so much he destroyed any foul demons that tried to slander his grandfather, Hades' image, gaining lots of experience since the realms have different time speeds. He also was informed of his status as Kasara's container before Rakuto, his father figure, released her from the seal while training him in using his Sharingan and Rinnegan along with his other bloodlines that he mastered along with several Taijutsu and Kenjutsu styles. Frankly, he was extremely disgusted and angered at Konoha for even thinking of trying to condition him into a weapon and swears if they do anything to anger him he will turn it into a smoking crater. Naruto also had the knowledge and experience of his mentors transferred into him, which he assimilated and mastered thanks to the use of shadow clones, allowing him to master and learn things faster. He found out his god powers were enchanted regeneration, godlike speed, godlike stamina, infinite healing factor, nature manipulations, enhanced combat, energy constructs, energy strike, and time manipulation. His time manipulation was on a higher, grander scale than even Chronos. Speaking of the Titans, he felt each of them trying to manipulate his mind, but his mental powers were unbeatable and rejected each of them, harshly causing their minds to feel sharp stabs of pain. When Naruto was only in his pre-teens, he heard Thalia, Casey Jackson, Poseidon's daughter, and the hunters went in search of Artemis, who was kidnapped by a manticore who was working for Atlas the Titan, who could cause earthquakes with his powers of physical strength and geokinesis. When he heard of this tragedy, he left his throne to save Artemis and launched himself from the heavens themselves and flew at speeds outpacing a Mach 5 and the speed of sound and light towards Casey's group. He found them beaten badly and saw it was one of Herm's sons and Atlas fighting them with a legion of demons at their side, and when he saw his Luna Joutei forced to hold up the huge earth on her back, he grew enraged. He obliterated the entire demon legion using hellfire powers, turning them into ash before turning his sights on Luke and Atlas. He still remembered how he killed the Titan and demigod. Flashback no jutsu. Naruto looked coldly at the burning ashes of Rouge demons and turned slowly toward his Titan grandfather and the traitorous demigod Luke, who was glaring at him while Atlas had narrowed eyes. "You better have a very good explanation for this, grandfather," he growled dangerously, and Luke just snorted. "The gods have ruled the world long enough, it's time for someone else to take the reins. Fitting for the Titans, don't you think?" Luke smiled mockingly, only to gasp in intense pain. By the gods. It hurt him a lot. Even the regeneration Atlas and his master granted him wasn't even working. "If you think regeneration works against me, then you forgot who I really am." Naruto removed his arm that impaled Luke through his heart and watched as he exploded in golden flames with cold, uncaring eyes before turning to Atlas, who stepped back in fear at the look in his grandson's eyes and tried to run, hoping to never feel such a feeling ever again, only to cough up gold blood and saw that Naruto had a flaming blade that had a gourd attached to his hip. Annabeth's eyes widened in shock. "That's the legendary Totsuka blade." Everyone looked absolutely shocked at seeing the legendary Sakigari blade that could sell anything it pierces into an eternal illusion, no matter who it was, be it god, human, demigod, demon, Biju or celestial, all of them fell before the legendary blade's power. Atlas struggled to get free, but it was like his whole body was disobeying him and roared with defiance as he was getting pulled into the gourd, and Naruto spoke. "This will be your punishment, Atlas. Instead of being sentenced to eternity of holding up the earth, you will forever be sealed inside Totsuka, forever trapped in an illusion." Naruto's voice shook the earth, and with a final scream, Atlas vanished into the gourd, sealed forever. Artemis collapsed, only for Naruto to catch her holding the maiden clothes in his arms lovingly and rubbed his head against hers in a show of affection. "Thank you, Naruto," she mumbled, snuggling into his embrace with a smile which the others smiled at watching the loving scene. Naruto truly showed them why he is Kami's heir. Flashback end. Naruto increased his training so much, his family thought it would kill even a demigod, and became so powerful he defeated the big three by himself with only a few cuts and bruises and achieved his title as ruler of heavens from Kami. Though he may be ruler now, he treated everyone as his equal. Those that pissed him off, well, you get the picture, and continued training since his powers continue to grow each day. He and Rakuto went to the nations one night and worked together, freeing the other 8 Biju, who immediately grew to love him, though Nibi was the most possessive of the bunch, and he quickly established he wasn't going to be whipped as Kasara and the other girls planned, and that made every male in marriage jealous and envious of the realm ruler at not being prey to the women's dominance routine. One day during a meeting, everyone discussed what to do with Konoha, since they have noticed that Jiraiya has been searching everywhere for him with delusions of grandeur in his thoughts, along with Konoha, except for a select few who were sad he wasn't there and decided to have some fun and told them he was going to become a Sannin for Konoha and a sage of 10 paths, thanks to Naruto recreating the Juubi and sealing itself inside him, and found out to his surprise Juubi was waiting to be recreated and made it to her creator. This he accepted since he found out some humans tried to control her, causing her to go into a rage of bloodlust and anger. Her name was Kayako. The day Naruto was going to depart to the elemental nations, where he knows the rookies have graduated and wants to surprise the village at his power and doesn't really care if they know who he is because he can kill them with a twitch of his wrist if he wanted, and stood up to a height of 5'9" and walked toward his throne room. The throne room looked completely white, along with having a large table with many thrones being on different height levels, and sat in the middle of the 4 tallest being a Victorian-style throne and had orbs of white and gold flames floating around it, and saw everyone of his family in their seats. "Is everyone here?" Naruto asked calmly, getting nods but saw Kasara and the other girls not here and smirked at something that Kami noticed but didn't comment on, and suddenly everyone felt rumbling and got confused looks. Bakuto noticed the smirk on Naruto's face and grinned. "Naruto-chan, what did you do?" Naruto simply winked and waited. Soon the doors were slammed open, and what they saw made everyone fall out of their thrones or clutch onto them, laughing their asses off as they saw Kasara and the others had their tails painted neon pink and orange and saw their eyes were burning with bright flames of fury. "How were you sleeping?" Naruto asked bluntly, making the others bang their fists in laughter while they just glared deeply. "Do you not know how utterly revolting these colors are?" Mitabi roared, her two tails twitching in response to her anger, while Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Why do you think I did it?" he asked in a slight tone, something Mina snorted at. "Then who the hell did?" Gokia demanded, looking about ready to send lava flying. They looked at each other and pointed toward Hermes, who was half asleep, and yelled. "Hermes did it." Hermes, who heard their words, squawked and ran like hell from the raging Biju hot on his trail, yelling traitors the entire way, and everyone smirked and winked at Naruto, who motioned Mina to follow him and almost squealed in glee as her and Naruto vanished in a yellow and gold flash towards an open portal just as it closed. Zu smirked. "Let's see how the nations handle the Sage of Ten Paths." Onahagakure no Sato North Gate. Izumi and Katetsui sign in boredom. They used to be the best kunoichi duo in Konoha but were reduced to chunin guards by the decision of the Sandaime and Jiraiya, who merely said it was for the good of Konoha, which pissed them off a lot since that old buzzard and Lecher thought kunoichi are weak and should do easy things like guard duty. "Izumi-chan, this is pissing me off so much right now." Katetsui scowled, such a deep scowl she scared two genin teams off. Izumi gave her fellow kunoichi and surrogate sister a sympathetic pat on the back, feeling the same. "Let's just hope for something amazing to happen." Koizumi stopped and blushed, confusing Katetsui, who looked at her line of sight and promptly blushed as well when they saw hot white-haired Adonis, who was walking beside a white-haired Adonis wearing a black bodysuit with black and gold accents, and those whisker marks made his looks fiercely sexy. "Excuse me, I am Naruto Senju. I came here to take a chance at becoming a ninja for Konoha. Would you direct me to the Hokage's office?" Naruto's last name shocked everyone in earshot. The civilians looked murderous, while the ninja looked odd, seeing their supposed savior and container, and wondered why he looked like he was a god in human form. "In Shuriki, you will be brought before the councils and answer for deserting the village." A hawk mask threatened with the rank of captain and was backed up by 3 other squads, causing the civilians to run for cover and the standing and to tense. Naruto just gave them a raised eyebrow. "Anbu-san, if you think I am Kasara Hime's container, then you're wrong, since I have my own set of coils, and here's another thing: I never swore to be a citizen of Konoha just to be some whipping boy for these arrogant waste of flesh, hiding like rats," Naruto said coldly, pointing at the angry civilians while the shinobi raised an eyebrow. "You say Kyuubi isn't sealed in you anymore, why is that?" One asked angrily at their weapon being taken away, only for Naruto to narrow his eyes at them and release 1/10 of his spiritual pressure, causing them to fall to their knees as they could barely breathe. "Because my sensei removed her safely from my body and I gained all 9 tails of her power, which converted into mine, making me more powerful than anyone alive, and I have been watching from my throne on how this ungrateful village reacted to me being her former container, and frankly I am disappointed, disgusted, and appalled by how stupid you people are. You think I would be broken into being a servant to you mongrels?" He sneered coldly, making them sweat, and let it up when the Sandaime and Jiraiya appeared in front of him only a few feet away. "So you have returned to your rightful home, huh, kid?" Jiraiya smirked, only to get a cold glare from Mina, making both shiver and sweat. "No, Naruto-kun only wishes to become a ninja to relieve his boredom and wants to be the first Kami no Sennin." Mina smirked as she had her arms wrapped around his chest and had her bust pressed into his back. "Also, Gama-san, if you even think of peeping on my mate when I am not near, I will do what Tsunade-sama should have done and make sure you cannot reproduce anymore, is that clear?" Jiraiya scoffed at the arrogance of Naruto. "Like you could beat me, kid, I have more experience than you do." Naruto smirked. "Then tell me, how can 50 years of experience trump 10 millenniums of knowledge, skills, and training can help you against me?" "Oh, I forgot you're arrogant like a Uchiha to even train anymore and don't expect to find anyone stronger than you," Naruto said mockingly and vanished in a gold streak, with Mina following his lead, leaving a shocked Sarutobi and Jiraiya, who quickly got together the rookie teams to weaken Naruto enough to take him down and start his mental conditioning. Junin Exam Stadium. In the stands of the stadium, many were chattering excitedly at the son of their heroes joining the village. Some were planning on showing the demon his place in the village, others were planning on asking for his hand in marriage, while some were wanting to see this young man for themselves and see if he is the real thing. "I don't see why this village is so hyped up about this Naruto guy anyway." A dog-looking boy said arrogantly only to get a stern glare from his teammates who were Aburam and Hyuga respectively. Sheena spoke. Because he is said to have ungodly amounts of chakra and control along with large amounts of combat experience and might end up being a Sannin after this. Kiba scoffed, as if someone could beat an Inuyasha. Sasuke-kun will beat this Naruto baka. Because he's the best. A shrill voice screeched, making several winces and shouting threats at her which she ignored since she felt justified and righteous since she was cheering on her Sasuke-kun. Naruto, quit making us look bad. A blonde-haired girl named Naruko Uzumaki Namikaze, older sister of Naruto Shi, and her family had returned to Konoha after reaching mid-jonin in skills to be ninja, so they could find their brother, and when they heard Naruto Senju they got interested and wanted to test the Senju and Mina to see if their feelings were true. Naruko is right, Sakura, quit boosting the emo's arrogance already. Kasumi had growled since she disliked her anger shown through her onyx black eyes since she hated fangirls and was pissed when she was forced to teach Waruno and the emo Uchiha and blushed when she saw her sensei's son and admitted he was hot. Hey Nai-chan, what do you think about the yandere? He's hot, isn't he? Anko asked her best friend who had wine-red eyes almost like the Sharingan, smirked and nodded, having a blush on her face. Yes he is, I think I saw a fangirl club organizing a few minutes ago. She giggled perversely. Asana Saratobi looked at Naruto with mesmerized eyes. Does anyone feel weak in the knees when you look into his eyes? She blushed, and a round of blushes and nods. Yes, those eyes are the eyes of a true alpha with no equal. Hana drooled, getting a nod from her mother who looked interested and looked closely at Mina, who was standing with her eyes closed waiting for their opponents. She looks familiar. Everyone looked up as the Kami no Shinobi walked forward using chakra to amplify his voice and shouted. Today people and shinobi of Konohagakure no Sado, I bring you two people who wish to become shinobi of our ranks, Naruto Senju and Mina Namikaze. Almost everyone's eyes bulged in shock, especially Jiraiya who glared at his student recognizing his chakra anywhere, only to flinch back by her eyes turning pitch black with no pupil, but shook it off and resolved to beat some sense into his students. For their opponents, the rookie 12 are Jounin specialists, Kushina Uzumaki and her friends, and Jiraiya of the Sannin. Naruto locked eyes with a royal purple-eyed woman with red hair, along with her children who were looking at him, and he felt their emotions. Sadness, sorrow, loneliness, love, lust. Did they become that sad just because I vanished and lied about being dead? Naruto thought, glaring at Jiraiya and the Hokage who sweated again before all 12 rookie teams appeared on the field with the Uchiha, Haruno, and Inuyasha looking arrogant and smug. Give up Senju, no one can beat Uchiha. Sasuke replied arrogantly only for them to shiver at Naruto's blazing orange eyes that turned cold and emotionless. Whoever said I had just the Senju name, little ninja Natoko. Naruto's lips curved into a dark menacing fanged grin that looked demonic and his Iron no Rinnegan activated causing fear to run through the bodies of users. Naruto vanished in a gold streak and Sasuke got a kick that sent him screaming in pain and was embedded in the wall and knocked out instantly. Sakura screeched. How dare you do that to Sasuke-kun? Sakura was about to attack only to scream in pain as she was football punted out into the village. Naruto jumped back with Mina as the rookies jumped into action. Lia, Nijiya, Naruko, Ino, Tenten, Shikiya, Natsumi, and Natsuki charged with their trained speed, making Naruto smirk at their low jonin speeds. If you girls give me a good fight I'll take you out to dinner. His words made the fire in their eyes burn brighter and moved at low Anbu speeds. That date's mine, Dadabane. Naruko shouted in glee, making Kushina blush red, while Kagura and Hikari snickered, making her round on them with a tongue lashing at who they should be laughing at. Naruto laughed, and his laughter sounded like heavenly angels, and it caused every female in range of hearing to blush and feel aroused. How in the world can such a hot guy have such a voice that should be illegal? They thought, blushing. I will fight you, Naru-kun. Lia yelled, launching fast barrages of high-speed punches and kicks along with Naruko and Tenten, which he blocked with one hand, shocking them and the others including Mina, never before seeing him do that before, and he wasn't even moving. Naruto smirked. Repulse. The girls looked in shock as a seal projectile appeared in front of his hands and cried out in surprise and pain as they were launched back several feet, knocking into the others in the process, while Kiba snarled in rage at getting ignored and spun into a raging drill at Mina, who looked bored. Eat this bitch. Gatsuga. He roared, only for Mina to smirk in amusement and flick the drill, sending it flying into the wall where it caused an explosion. When the smoke cleared they were stumped with laughter as Kiba was stuck headfirst into the concrete wall, trying furiously to get his head unstuck while swearing in several curse words to make a sailor blush, making Naruto bust a gut laughing and brought up a hand blocking a sword strike from Itsumi, who looked shocked only to jump back, barely dodging an elbow. Naru-senpai, answer this question please. Naruto pleaded with hope in her voice, making everyone stop and turn toward her while Kushina looked depressed, making Hikari and Kagura comfort her with sad eyes as tears dropped. What would that be, Naruto-hime? Naruto asked, appearing beside her, facing behind, getting a look of shock and surprise, and looking to see an afterimage fade away, sending shock through everyone's systems. Kushina looked shocked and awed. That's faster than Minato's speed, how? She whispered. Naruto looked shaken and asked in a quivering, desperate voice. Are you really my brother? Naruto looked at Naruto quietly and placed a hand on her head, being taller than her by 4 inches due to his shapeshifting since he's ageless and immortal. He smiled warmly and shifted his eyes to a crystal blue, causing the Uzumakis to gasp in joy and happiness. Yes, Naruto Imato, it's me. Naruto whimpered and clutched him tightly, letting her tears show. I won't leave you girls alone again, I promise, Naruto-hime. He promised quietly, making her blush with a pink tinge, wondering why she is feeling like this towards her brother, but shook it off and hugged him while the crowd awed at the scene except a furious Jiraiya at seeing Konoha's plans ruined and jumped in the air using chakra to give him a boost and shouted, Uchiha no Jutsu. Sarutobi narrowed his eyes at this while wondering why he kept feeling something blocking him from thinking clearly, not noticing Mina sneaking toward him silently and placing a finger on his neck. Kai, she muttered, and the old Cage gasped, holding his head before looking at Mina. Thank you, Minato, damn it, that bastard student Jiraiya did this to me. I never wanted to tell Naruto-kun's status to the village, damn it all. He cried in sorrow, feeling self-loathing for himself. Mina looked quiet. Eyes, what do you think? Should he deserve another chance? Well, since he was betrayed by Jiraiya, who had illusions of grandeur, we'll forgive him, and I'll give him another gift. Mina watched as Sarutobi gasped as he felt his body de-age till he looked like he did when he was in his 20s and looked toward Naruto, who smiled at him and nodded. Naruto, I swear to earn your trust, I swear on my. His eyes burned brightly with a rekindled flame, making the elders Danzo, Kaharu, and Homura smile. Good to have you back, Saru. They thought before gasping as Gamabunta appeared in mid-air with Jiraiya on top and saw him trying to crush Naruto and Naruto hugging and jumped up to stop him, only for Naruto to unsheathe the flaming blade that had a purple hilt and seemed to radiate heat from its silver blade. Reduce all creation to ash. Ryujin Jaka. Naruto roared and instantly a dragon of intense golden flames charged at the Toad summon and Jiraiya, who dodged out of the way, landed on the ground with a quake, glaring at Naruto. You have some nerve trying that Gamma team. Naruto said coldly. Watch your tone, the prophecy is screwed up thanks to Kami and her sister's interference, but now that you're here we can reverse all the wrenches in the plan and make sure you follow your duty to Konoha. Gamabunta glared with his one open eye, only for Naruto's eyes to glow ethereally, and they were shocked when he turned into a giant bipedal golden fox with 10 tails swishing wildly and felt not malice but peace and calmness. This is one of Naruto's shape-shifting forms he used when fighting against Chronos and the Titans, which was powerful enough to take all of them down. Jiraiya was unhappy at this show of power. Naruto changed back now. That power is corrupting you. He shouted, trying to shake Naruto's resolve and confidence, only for Naruto's demonic voice to speak up. I am not corrupted by my own abilities, Gamma team. As Kami's heir, I have the power of shape-shifting into any beast or animal I desire, and this is the form I used to fight against all the Titans and defeat them single-handedly, sealing all of them inside my Totsuka no Tsurugi, which seals all that it pierces into an eternal genjutsu with no way out. Those that heard of the Totsuka from the Mangekyo abilities paled when they heard he had the real version of it. Jiraiya wasn't having it. Konoha needs that power, brat, and you will listen to your betters like you are supposed to. Naruto's golden slitted eyes narrowed at the audacity of this arrogant. You dare think you can order me, a Hanyo god hybrid, what to do when not even my wives Kami, Yami, and Shiny couldn't control me when I am on my worst day? Shows you're the stupidest in this village, when I could have obliterated it from my realm with a snap of my fingers. Those that hated Naruto shouted weak threats at him till he snorted, breathing flames from his nostrils in amusement. You civilians should shut up before I use you as my breakfast. On second thought, maybe not, because I don't eat shitty turds. Everyone couldn't help but howl in laughter at the red-faced civilian screeching angrily about him, defying his betters, which he ignored and caught Gamabunta's Tanto with only one of his tails. I fought Kyuubi before and you will fall just like her. Naruto deadpanned at the retarded Toad. If you haven't noticed, idiot toads that have 10 tails making me a Juubi Kitsune, meaning I am stronger than Kasara-chan, guess you toads aren't known for their intellect from what I can see. Naruto smirked with a troll face, making Gamabunta go red in the face in anger, while Tsume, Kuramaru, and Hana along with her friends fell laughing their asses off. Naruto turned back into his human form to not hurt anyone and sidestepped a downward slash from Gamabunta and kicked it, causing the upper part of the blade to snap and fly off into the distance, leaving everyone speechless. I'm sorry I broke your toy. Naruto teased in a trolling voice with another troll face. I just love trolling people, making Gamabunta roar in rage, and try to step on Naruto who smirked and kicked upward, sending the summon flying. Jyoku Hitenjin. Naruto roared, sending a giant pillar of golden energy into Gamabunta dispelling him. Everyone was floored. Naruto sent one of the most powerful summons flying skyward with a taijutsu move and dispelling him at the same time. Naruto-sama is so hot. Mabuki shouted hearts in her eyes and a trail of blood leaking from her nose getting nods from the other day's jounin. Why thank you milities, 'twas a great pleasure to entertain you. He spoke in a strange baritone accent that turned them on so much Tsume was panting in lust, damn his alphaness. Jiraiya leapt at Naruto with a Rasengan only to be countered with a stronger one that knocked him into a tree cracking it. Give up Sannin, and I may be lenient not to let my wives tear you limb from limb. The toad Sannin gritted his teeth standing up, not giving up to their weapon. He will learn his place like the pawn he is. Shinku. I swear you're sounding like fucking dumbass Adore. Naruto watched him charge at cage level speeds, which was very visible to him since his mentors and family can move faster than that, and holds Ryujin Jaka slightly out of its sheath and walked by Jiraiya who tried to punch him and had a confused look as Naruto walked toward Mina who looked bored. Get back here you Hekai team. Naruto stopped and glanced at Jiraiya who didn't know how much pain he is in now and sheathed his sword. The Tatsum. Natajiri. Naruto said emotionlessly and Jiraiya screamed in pain as his upper clothing was shredded and a viscous-looking cross-shaped scar appeared on his body, splashing copious amounts of blood on the ground and it burned insanely like someone poured salt on the wound. Be lucky I didn't put a fraction of my strength into that strike or you would have been split into 4 pieces. He spoke much to the awe and lust of Kenjutsu users, especially Kushina. I so have to get Nerukan to teach me that. If any Kenjutsu mistresses wish to learn it from me, come find me at Training Ground Zero behind the Hokage's monument. He called out to them walking away as Naruto's forehead was covered with a black bandana and a gold-plated headband that had flame designs and the kanji for Sage of 10 Paths on the front. I hereby declare Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju Uchiha the Kami no Sennin and Mina Namikaze Elite Jounin of Konohagakure no Sado, that is all people. The Sandaime announced Sunshine with Naruto and others that wanted to get to know him better doing the same. Jiraiya laid there on the ground sweating in terror and despair. It isn't possible for him to have such power, he could destroy the world if left alone. I have to tell the Toad Elders about this. He moved his protesting body and vanished in a poof of smoke with a reverse summoning. The Kami no Sennin has just made his first mark on the world. Mina looked at the civilians with disappointment and annoyance and the shinobi and elders with indifference but was happy to see her friends, though the former yondaime flinched seeing the pained happy look on Kushina's face. Emi was such a fool to even think of doing that to Naruto. She felt a hand on her shoulder and saw it was Naruto giving her a small calm serene smile, instantly washing her worries away with ease. Arigato Kate-kun, Emperor-kun, this raised a few eyebrows, yet the civilian council gave Naruto looks of scorn, something he saw and visibly ignored, as if they weren't worth his attention or time, pissing them off instantly at their supposed weapon, not paying attention to them, earning amused looks from the elders and shinobi, while the Hokage tried to look stern but failed with his snickering. Sandaime-sama. Hiruzen blinked at Naruto's respectful tone and acknowledged him. Naruto nodded in thanks and spoke up, Sandaime-sama, why is the civilian council sitting in on a shinobi meeting? He frowned sternly with a thin line on his lips, showing he did not approve of possible spies knowing things that shouldn't be known. Danzo raised an eyebrow in surprise. Someone had the balls to raise that question. Yes indeed old friend, I told you numerous times that, and it took an emperor himself to point it out. Hiruzen deadpanned at his former teammate. Shut up Danzo. Naruto and Mina had to bite their lips so as not to laugh their asses off like crazy at the expression on Sandaime's face. Did I forget to mention I'm immortal and can come back whenever I want to like a certain 9-tailed fox? He replied out loud, freezing nearly everyone, and he waited quietly for their reactions. Boy did he enjoy it. Demon. He's a demon like I said, kill him. Lock him away and brainwash him. A withered old hag and man pointed shaking fingers of anger and superiority at the young god emperor who gave them a bored look. If your so-called bodyguards feel like having an eternal dance with Shiny-chan, come at me with the full intent to cripple or kill me. Otherwise he let loose a silver of his chakra which was extremely dense and powerful like titanium itself, appearing as a silver gold flame aura like the ones in DBZ, yet it was so intense and radiated a sense of danger that made everyone tense except for Kushina, Mina, Tsume, Mikoto, Kaharu. She's young like she was in the war. Thanks to surviving being hit by Kasara's chakra. I'll explain why later on. Hana, Nico, Inu, Asana, Kurenai, Naruko, Hikari, and Kagura to feel all warm over like a hot blanket protecting them. Oh my Suichi's chakra feels so comforting, Kushina thought in awe and surprise. Tsume and Hana were twitching at minute intervals thinking lewd thoughts because Naruto's warm chakra was bringing out more of their animal instincts to submit to him. I wonder if he's into older women. Several women absently thought. Do not test my patience, you weak maggots. Naruto scowled in a downright deadly way, showing them just why he inherited Kami's throne. His scowl looked like it could make even Madara Uchiha flinch back in fear from the sheer intensity and dark coldness from it. The civilians looked ready to shout at him for speaking back to his betters, only to watch Naruto walk toward a part of their side of the table and poke it lightly, and it suddenly imploded violently, unlike Tsunade's super strength that smashes everything that seemed more precise and even more dangerous. Anything else you want to add, as a civilian? Naruto calmly raised an eyebrow, as if daring them to say another word, and when they stayed quiet he turned around away from them, calmly walking back, but with his empathic sense, he knew someone was going to run their mouth off. What kind of mother raised a rebellious, disrespectful hellspawn like you? Can't you all see he's just biding his time to kill us all? The civilian council wailed like spoiled whiny brats and did not see Naruto's orange-golden eyes blazing with cold fury, but the others did and shivered when his teeth turned into a maw of razor-sharp teeth, clawed fingers, and his skin turned pale white with pulsing purple veins on his neck and arms. Just for that I am going to remove a stain on my grandfather's village, starting with you, he hissed coldly and venomously. Before they could scream, Naruto pounced like a wild beast, tearing them to pieces with his beast fang fist style, using wild controlled swipes, claw, and knife hand strikes, splattering blood all over his clothes, face, and hair, along with terrifying the Anbu into a near comatose state, while Mina watched with a slightly worried look. After stopping, only one of them remained, and it was the same old man spouting fanatical nonsense about how Naruto will die for attacking him, and felt terror and helplessness flood his whole being when he was grabbed by the skull, pulled up to face level with a cold, heartless-faced Naruto. I read your mind, and you thought about turning my Nisans and Oka-chan into sex slaves for you? Naruko quickly left towards the bathroom, puking her guts out at hearing what that dirty old man's plans were, and shivered in fear and worry. Kagura, Hikari, and Natsumi were right there with her, easing her worries. Naruto looked at Naruko in apology, knowing she will be more cautious around the civilians even now, and he wanted her innocence to be preserved, unlike his due to being a ruler of heaven, before deciding to make his death painful. Now hold still, this will be all over soon, he muttered softly, placing his hands on the sides of the councilman's head, keeping his thumbs placed on the temples, and applying pressure. The old man screamed and begged for the pain to stop. The shinobi couldn't help but feel terrified at seeing no shred of remorse in Naruto's eyes, and flinched violently when blood and other juices began pouring from his nose, eyes, ears, and mouth. What is Naruto-sama doing? The Saramask asked warily, and Mina just replied in her cheery, perky voice that would have made everyone stare at her like she belonged in the mental hospital for not being fazed by this. What do you think happens when an object like a human head is exposed to too much pressure from different directions? Sarah took a second to register that and turned pale white, shaking like a leaf. Naruto smirked in a demonic, sadistic way. Shina, die, the old councilman screamed one last time in agony. Splurg. Everyone turned green and pale white, seeing his head squished violently, sending blood and brain matter everywhere like a broken faucet till it dropped to a trickle and the corpse was dropped boredly. Naruto sighed, and with a quick application of water, wind chakra blew off the blood and gore on his hands and face, while the water chakra washed off any other drops of blood on his face, hair, and clothes. I've taken out a major thorn in your side, council and elders. Hokage Dono. Naruto bowed regally with a nobleness that would have made a certain fire daimyo jealous. Tora, Nico, get rid of the bodies so they won't be missed. Hiruzen commanded the two Suiton, using Anbu, nodding in confirmation, washing away the blood with D-rank Suiton, while the bodies were burned to ashes by Kaiten before they returned to their posts. Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha Namikaze, Kami no Senin, God Sage, and Mina Namikaze Elite Jounin, thank you for completing your first SS rank mission, removing the civilian council, but it will be extended till every single spy and threat to Konoha's welfare is eliminated. The shinobi clan leaders looked at their Hokage with wide eyes, especially Kushina. Nari-chan, that's too much responsibility for him, he's not ready. Naruto read her thoughts and shook his head at her. Kushina Oka-san, I know the responsibility I must uphold. I know what I'm getting into since I'm Kami-Hime's successor. This is nothing new to me, especially in the last millennium. Kushina looked at him awestruck at the confidence, calmness, and determination in his warm eyes and nodded with a small smile. I approve of Hokage-sama. As I do it. Choza bellowed in growing respect to the new Senin. Inuyasaka has your back, Naruto-san. Tsume gave him a thumbs up and Kuromaru gave her signature fang grin. You have my support for Naruto-san. Inoichi declared with a smirk. Troublesome, the Nara clan supports Naruto-san. Naruto chuckles lightheartedly at Shika's dad's bored yet encouraging words. Each and everyone began giving their support except Hiashi, who had a scowl seeing the demon happy, causing Naruto's smile to grow wider till it nearly split his face. Looks like this village is worth saving if only to see my loved ones happy, but I wonder. He opened up the link with his mates. Girls, do guys want to learn how to use chakra? Really, Naruto? He chuckled at Casey's enthusiasm and excitement. Yes, really, Case Heim. Of course we agreed, babe, what else would you expect? He rolled his eyes at Clarissa's tough, cocky tone, but that's one thing he loves about her. Sandame Sama, my other girls would like to train under me in using chakra. They raised eyebrows except Mina, who had a knowing smirk. Will they cause problems for Konoha? Hiruzen questioned in a hard tone, and Naruto matched his gaze with equal intensity. Not at all, Hokage-sama, they only listen to my orders, so the chances of them attacking someone without reason is extremely slim, though they have my permission to retaliate against anyone that thinks they can hurt me by attacking them, like a certain Banshee, Mutt, and Emo. Tsume, Mibuyuki, and Makoto sighed in deep irritation and annoyance. We'll make sure they are told not to antagonize you, Naruto-sama. Naruto shook his head. Enough with the Sama crap, it's just not me even if I'm a ruler. Makoto and Mibuyuki giggled at his irritated words and slyly said, "Hi, Naruto-sama." They dragged it out, getting an irritated eye twitch from the golden sun blonde-haired god, and replied in a deceptively calm, eerie tone that set the hairs on everyone's neck straight up. "Would you like to wake up the next morning with your hair shaved bald, Miladies?" Said women paled alabaster white and shook their heads rapidly, not wanting to know what kind of pranks he thought up if he's Kushina's kid. Okay, I had to admit I was about to piss myself when he spoke like that. Hiashi yelled inwardly, making a note to tell his clan not to piss the god in front of him off. Is that all, Hokage-sama? Hiruzen rubbed his beard slightly and thought before asking something that gained everyone's interest. You wouldn't happen to know about all 9 being missing, would you, Naruto Denka? Naruto raised his eyebrow in interest. No, why would matters in a world not my own interest me? He smirked calmly, and Hiruzen narrowed his eyes sharply. You're God, Naruto Denka, surely you have eyes everywhere. Naruto nodded at that correct calculation and shrugged ruefully. All I heard was a white-haired man bearing the Rinnegan called Hagoromo Otsutsuki, unsealing the Bijuu without killing the hosts, and vanishing without a trace. Other than that, I have no idea who the guy is. Naruto laughed his ass off inwardly, knowing the old sage was going to be pissed that he pranked him. Mina had to strain herself from giggling herself to death and only settled on a stoic, calm smile, inwardly laughing her ass off with the others on the mental link. The old Cage, now youthful, frowned for a minute, not knowing if his new Sennin was hiding something or not, but decided to allow him to keep his own secrets, not wanting to ruin the chance of having a grandfather relationship with Naruto. I'll be heading to the Uzumaki compound with Mina and the others if you don't mind, also called Tsunade-senpai back. She's been allowed to grieve long enough that if she goes on any longer she'll be nothing but a corrupt shadow of her former self. Was all he said before he vanished into a swirling vortex with Kushina, Naruko, Natsumi, Mina, Hikari, and Kagura. That was impressive. Danzo commented with a smirk, getting silent nods agreeing with the Warhik. Uzumaki compound, stand still, Mina, and Kushina Fasipum, seeing Naruko going with her brawler style against Naruto, who was dancing around and away from her kicks, headbutts, punches, and grapples. Naruko Ni-chan drops the brawler style. I know you are hiding your real style from me. Naruko froze and then smirked like a certain snake mistress, getting stares from Hikari, Kushina, and Mina, knowing that smile from anywhere, while Naruto raised an eyebrow at the rising bloodlust, growing at an alarming rate. Hope you're ready, Naika. Naruko purred in a seductive tone, shifting her left leg backwards, leaning on her forward right one, and her hands flattened into a knife hand position like a serpent waiting to strike at any moment. Smirking at the change in demeanor, Naruto placed an open palm forward, lowered to his stomach level, while having a closed fist level with his chest, and his stance solid yet loose. Is that Jukin? Naruko asked, raising an eyebrow, only earning a teasing smirk in response. Not really, just something better than that particular taijutsu style that doesn't need any requirement of a taijutsu. Kushina sat up in interest and anticipation, wanting to see what kind of ninja her long-lost son was. Kagura looked at both her siblings, raising her hand slowly as the bloodlust and longing for battle continued to heighten and intensify. It was causing them to get increasingly aroused. Aishi. Hikari jumped back just as the two appeared in front of each other, as Blur's fists cocked back and then clashed, causing the ground underneath them to break from the shockwaves. Naruto grinned, his fangs lengthening, as did Naruko's. Ikuso. Metal Gear Revengeance. It has to be this way. Platinum Mix. Impact. Naruko puts her arms up, hastily blocking the lightning-fast punch only to flinch, and holds her arms in pain, gritting her teeth to keep from screaming bloody murder. This feels worse than Nijia, and Hinata-chan's Jukin strikes at full power. A chibi Naruko in her mind was rolling around screaming in agonizing pain. First lesson. Taijutsu. Naruto's serious demeanor startled them, especially Kushina, and Naruto was put on the pure defense, bending, dodging, and using her snake-like flexibility to bend out the way of his lightning-fast palm strikes, kicks, punches, and high-speed taijutsu combos, but a few got her in the shoulders and legs, though she managed to get in some shots at his arms and chest, but his bruises and cuts and wounds healed up instantly, much to her gaping disbelief. Did I forget I'm like a tailed beast in terms of power, skill, and regeneration, meaning you're gonna have to go all out to make me go harder. He smiled a big sadistic smile that could put Anko's and Orochimaru's to utter crying shame. I hate it when he smiles like that, it's a smile that is literally telling you're going to get embarrassed, humiliated, and pranked badly. Mina shuddered in fear, remembering the strings from the scorpions in her bed at the palace. Her ass cheeks were still tender even after a week. Naruto kept his mind focused, as his precognitive abilities he developed due to his ascension kept him informed of every move she was going to make: punch, dodge, counter, palm, heal, smash, roundhouse, and deflect. Naruto tried to keep her frustration from showing against her long-lost brother, not ever seeing someone more skilled in taijutsu than her besides Kushina and Kagura and Hikari. It's like he has Sharingan and Byakugan at the same time, but not active, or is he more experienced than he let on back in the stadium? Naruto pushed her speed up to high Chunin, bordering on low Jounin, getting a punch in on his cheek, causing a bruise, surprising Mina, who thought Naruto wouldn't make that mistake, only to stiffen seeing the vulpine smirk on his face. Oh boy, sorry Naruto-chan, but you have done it now. Naruto seemed to notice the change in demeanor from Naruto before he rushed at her with high Jounin borderline mid-Anbu level speed, using Anbu level taijutsu maneuvers, forcing her back on the defense, and when she tried to change the pace he was moving with her, stopping or deflecting her attacks from his person with ease. Kushina, Hikari, Natsumi, and Kagura watched with increasingly wide eyes, seeing Naruto so outclassed it was stunning and unnerving at the same time. Seeing how powerful their brother-son was, even Kushina and Kagura and Hikari knew they wouldn't be able to beat him together. I know you can do better than that, Ni-san, Naruto called out in a sing-song voice. Naruto raced through hand seals, stopping with a snake seal, causing a smirk to rise on his face, Earth style. Triple stone dragon. She called out, and Naruto vanished from his spot as 3 large dragons of earth and stone smashed the spot he was previously standing at to a flattened crater. Oh? She must have a pretty powerful earth affinity to pull that off with just 6 hand seals at mid-Chunin speed. That must have been an air rank earth. She has potential, though she looks more of a taijutsu ninjutsu kenjutsu type. He calculated, noting the twin red ninjato sheathed on her back. Lesson 2. Ninjutsu. Naruto lost control of her when he used a simple snake seal, stunning her, seeing it was also one-handed. How? Kushina looked impressed. My specialty is in all ninja arts, but I prefer molding, shaping, and manipulating both my chakra and my enemies. My eyes can see the way the chakra flows even without my eternal Rinnegan. All I have to do is spot the last hand seal for the initiated and do the same, then your foes like a sand castle. Pretty neat, eh, Naru-chan? Naruto looked stunned and awed, as did Natsumi. She smirked out of nowhere, getting a raised eyebrow from Naruto. Seeing that look on her face, only his eyes widened when she broke down into earth. Rock clone, huh? He panned his vision around the field and slowly looked down with a mischievous smirk, clenching his hand into a fist, raising it up high. Is Soichi going to do what I think he's going to do, Mina? Kushina spoke up, looking toward her former husband-turned-woman with a nervous twitch in her eye, getting a cheery grin in return. Why, yes he is. The Kasho. Throughout the village, the entire ground shook from the massive force emitted from Naruto's strength attack. Naruto climbed out, shakily looking at her brother with eyes the size of dinner plates, seeing the ripped open earth wider than the jaws of the Sanbi no Kaidai game. Think of it being wide and large enough to build in a massive jacuzzi. Her jaw was threatening to crack the ground, seeing the display of physical strength beyond human, if not on par higher than Tsunade's. Then Tanzaku guy at a casino, a certain blonde, sneezed, winning a jackpot and getting a large cheer from her. Naruto vanished in a blur, smashing a punch in Naruto's rib, sending pain trembling through, but retaliated with her own punch, burying it in his stomach, only getting a grunt before jumping back, and began firing jutsus back at each, ranging from earth, water, and fire, and wind. Wind style. Great breakthrough. Earth style, earth wall. Naruto cried out, stomping her foot, sprouting up a large tall earth wall blocking the incoming wind blast, only getting cracks and fissures in the shield. Soon after that she had to jump back from a shooting from the ground, trying to grab her ankle, only to hear an almost silent whisper. Bakken Sanpo dodged just barely, as a beam surrounded by rings of energy pierced through the ground, exploding from the amount of power put into it, sending her flying on her ass. She was a bit disoriented from the explosion, trying to get the ringing from her ears and head, only to freeze feeling cold metal against her as it slithered across her breasts, sending a chill down her spine. I win, Ni-san, he whispered in a husky tone. And song, the training field flashed with seals and looked as good as new, getting a smirk from Naruto. Now I know where I got my Fuinjutsu mastery from. He absently noted he kept looking at Kushina differently than a mom. She had smooth curvy hips, thick strong thighs, a bubble-shaped ass, and cup breasts, showing no amounts of sagging. But that vibrant red hair entranced even him. However, that tight bodysuit on her did not do justice when his groin twitched unconsciously, seeing it looked like she wasn't wearing any underwear at all, and calmed himself slowly before smirking teasingly at Naruto, huffing with blushing puff cheeks. "Better luck next time, Mi-chan." He laughed as she tried in a comical manner to physically harm him, and he just dodged with such ease like a blur. It only made it more comical to the others in an anime-style fashion. "Nanai-san, what are you going to do tonight?" Natsumi asked kindly. Picture an orange-haired Urza with 9-tailed Naruto whisker marks and black lipstick. Kurenai and the others wanted to go to the club tonight to welcome me to Konoha, and me becoming a Sannin, though I wish it would be quieter since considering how petty and cowardly Iwa and Kumo are. He glanced at a frowning Mina and Kushina, who understood the same thing. Both Iwa and Kumo held grudges that passed years ago out of spite. One constantly attacked those associated with Konoha just to get some form of sick petty revenge for their loss in the Third War. The other resorted to kidnapping those with special bloodlines, which were mostly female, turning them into breeding stock to gain more military power, just to stay on top of the other villages. Truly, our race can be worse than demons, but humans are worse, I suppose. Naruto's eyes widened, hearing a mystical angelic soft female voice speak in his mind. What are you doing in my mind?" he demanded with authority and viciousness, and he swore he could feel a saucy smirk etched on Gaia's face. "Oh, you're being pretty forceful. I like that." Young King Naruto didn't know if he should be startled or excited by her tone. "Naruto, I need your help." Gaia spoke this time in a tired, grave way. "But what exactly is Titan Gaia?" "It's Chronos and the other titans." Naruto narrowed his eyes in distaste, hearing the name of that arrogant titan of time and space whom he had the displeasure of knowing the first time, though he had to admit the titan knew how to use time and space like a seasoned master, since he was sure to have had practiced it and figured out new ways to use it. He nearly had his powers over time and mastered when he was 21 mentally and 10 years old physically. "Let me guess, they are planning on attacking the camp soon." "Yes, they are angry and furious over a young upstart like you defeating them single-handedly, but I felt changed by you defeating me, Naruto, and Mother Ray would like for you to permanently get rid of them. It's taking a toll on her mind to see her children causing all this death and destruction." Naruto's frown softened, hearing how tired and weary Gaia sounded, and especially about Ray. He made up his mind. How much time till they try and attack the camp? They will try and launch a sneak attack by getting through the labyrinth. It would be wise to gain the aid of the other camps. It would not do for you to have many deaths of such young ones on your conscience, Naruto. Her voice turned soft and understanding. Naruto mentally nodded. "I'll talk tonight with Kami-chan and the others. Chrono's manipulations have gone on long enough." "Thank you, Lord Naruto. I am in your debt. I shall fight alongside you when the time comes, but be warned, watch out for the ones adorning the red clouds." He clenched his fists, popping the knuckles, knowing who she was referring to. Akatsuki. He gave the falling sun a long look before heading inside as nighttime was quickly approaching, and shook his head, getting a feeling that someone was going to try and piss him off badly. It was a feeling in the back of his head, knowing Murphy was gonna try and fuck him over again. Damn Murphy. 2 hours later, club leaf. Danko gave Kurenai an annoyed look. "I swear if he's going to be late like Haddock-chan, I swear on Dango, I am going." Tianko immediately began drooling like mad, and when Kurenai, Yugao, Hana, Tsume, Kushina, Natsumi, Kagura, Yoshino, Mina, and Asana saw it, they either blushed or began drooling like Anko. Naruto was decked out in a pair of black jeans with white and gold-orange flame patterns down the legs, a metal-studded black leather belt, black and red futuristic shoes, shadow shoes in black and red, a black skin-tight turtleneck sweater, black-rimmed designer shades with a red tint accenting his blazing orange-golden eyes. He wore a white leather fur-collared jacket with a 10-tailed golden fox on the back, while his hair was combed neatly, spilling over his left eye slightly, with a ponytail in the back reaching to his upper back, and he then had to give them that Kami damn sexy ass foxy fanged smirk that nearly sent all the women into a frenzy, though Anko and Tsume wanted to jump him in front of everyone. Damn the audience watching. "Well, you ladies all look very lovely and heavenly right now. I think I might have died and am seeing angels," Naruto said, half joking and half flirting, getting shy blushes while Yugao, Kushina, Hitomi, and Yoshino played with locks of their hair shyly. "Oh, Naruto-sama, you're going to make this fair maiden blush," Mikoto said with a blush on her shy expressional face, getting a competitive glare from an irate Kushina. "Laying it on thick, ain't you, Miko-chan?" She fumed seeing a devious smirk on her best friend's face, while Naruto sweat dropped seeing the two glare at each other, lightning arsing between their eyes. These two are gonna be a handful, I just know it, sighed our blonde emperor, but then Naruto frowned feeling someone's eyes on him and looked around sharply, only to see from a distance Jiraiya frowning at him still with two small elderly toads on his shoulders, but he saw underneath all that wisdom in an instant was the arrogant manipulative scheming ways, and they were aimed on him and his siblings. He sent the two toads a ki-enhanced impassive stare that instantly caused them to poof back to their realm in fear much to his dark amusement and walked in with the girls giving the Sanin a middle finger, nearly sending the man into a rage before he calmed himself and slipped down in a henge to show the village's weapon his place like he should have been. Inside Club Leaf. So Naruto-senpai Yugao spoke shyly, cursing in her head for acting like Hitomi did when they were younger before staring at her growing crush a few days ago. Yes, Naruto smiled sitting between Kushina and Makoto, while Hitomi found herself sitting in his lap with a wide pink set of cheeks for her effort. What are your likes, interests, and ideals? Kasumi interrupted much to Yugao's annoyance bemusement, only getting that damnable eye smile in return. Naruto shuffled a bit in his seat thinking on what to say. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju Uchiha. Physically I am 16, mentally I'm a millennium old due to how fast I had to mature. He rubbed Kushina's shoulders seeing her downcasted look, calming her down. I like reading, painting, meditating, fighting strong opponents, and I mean those that can give me a challenge. I also like ramen and dango, or a combination of both, or sushi and sirloin steak and green tea and black coffee. Kurenai wrinkled her nose, remembering how black coffee tasted. I may like to smoke a bit to calm my nerves and such, don't give me that look. Yuhi-chan, my healing factor makes sure I don't get any diseases. As for my dislikes, Naruto took a few deep breaths to calm himself. I dislike traitors, rapists, perverts, Icha series which sucks ass anyway. He said his dislike out loud knowing Jiraiya was in here with them and detected several spikes of rage, indignation, and anger, much to the girl's surprise. Okay, let's see, Naruto-senpai is sexy and hot, he's a kind gentleman, and has nice hobbies. I love sushi. Hates perverts, check. And hates Icha down to the core, hell yes. Yugao, Hana, Tsume, Kushina, Kurenai, Hitomi, Yoshino, and Makoto were doing inner chibi dances of glee and happiness. Seriously, Icha sucks, all it has is pure smut, but he smirked slyly, pulling out a red book with a golden 10-tailed fox symbol above the kanji for sorrowful love, and Hitomi's eyes popped wide open to the size of dinner plates, pointing at it shakily along with Yoshino and Kurenai stuttering. Is that? Yes, drawled Naruto with a hidden grin, and the book vanished from his hand, surprising a bit. Hitomi read it with longing. Fiery love, yet unreturned with sorrowful reluctant remorse. Longing transformed to lustful obsession. Sorrow deep in thy soul. Yet thy love and lust burns deep despite the hardship. Sorrow and love go hand in hand. The lonely ninja with sorrow in thy body longs for the love and affection of thy crimson-haired vixen. They howl to the heavens an oath to earn her love even if they never return it. Thus the wind blows with a sorrowful promised whisper to thy crimson-haired vixen. The girls reading it had tears of awe, shock, and apprehension, and finally admiration. It's so beautiful, whispered Hitomi, and then gazed at the author's name and gaped widely and slowly stared at Naruto with awe, shock, and a bit of lust. And Naruto-san, you're the author. This got the attention of the women close by and gaped seeing that book knowing it was more popular than Icha. Naruto-sama is the author of Sorrowful Love, cried Sakura Haruno in shock and sudden shyness. Also my favorite colors are dark blue. Hitomi and Makoto blushed. Black Kurenai and Yoshino and Hana felt their hearts beat faster. Purple Anko and Yugao looked anywhere, but at his entrancing soft eyes, they were afraid they'd be put under the spell any second. Orange and light red Natsumi and Hikari blushed, cheering mentally that their brother liked their hair color. Brown Tsume gulped with pink cheeks squeezing her thighs as her leg quivered at the smooth breathtaking husky tone. Also blonde auburn reddish pink and bluish black Mina, Asana and Kagura blushed like wild berries hearing his words, but tried to compose themselves. And silver Kasumi was glad her hair covered her dark red cheeks. And crimson Kushina felt her heart leap in joy. John Legend, all of me. Naruto smirked seeing their shy looks and stood up. Teju Ukage Bunshin no Jutsu multiple single clones appeared beside Naruto offering their hands to Kushina, Kasumi, Mina, Kagura, Hikari, Yoshino, Tsume, Hana, Sakiri, Hitomi, Mibuyuki, Asana, Kurenai, Anko, Yugao, Natsumi, Makoto, with a real one taking Kushina's hand, pulling her to her feet, slowly bringing her to the dance floor. Verse 1. What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in, and you kicking me out. You've got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride. And I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. Her hand slowly rested on her son's shoulders while his left hand and right hand were placed on her hips and slowly danced to the music staring into each other's eyes, his golden orange to her royal purple ones. The clones did the same thing, while the girls wondered why they felt their heartbeat speeding up every minute as they flowed slowly going faster into a rhythmic music while a black-haired girl with curvy features sighed sadly, wondering if she'll be that lucky. And suddenly was tapped on the shoulder blinking she saw it was the same golden sun blonde Adonis out on the dance floor, offering a hand to her. Naruto the woman smiled. Shay Summers they joined the other clones and originals on the dance floor. Naruto-kun Kushina gazed up at him and their eyes met again. Yes Kushioka-chan he muttered softly as the music relaxed him and the others felt the same. Pre-chorus, my head's underwater but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. Why am I feeling this way about you? She said tears were running down her confused face and he just wiped them away looking sad himself. Because my mind isn't able to see you as a mother anymore I'm sad at the truth as well. He shed a single tear as the music went on. Kushi-chan I want to dedicate this song to you. He caught the microphone without looking and appeared on the stage along with the clones getting into their right spots and continued the song. Chorus, cause all of me, loves all of you, love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections, give your all to me, I'll give my all to you, you're my end and my beginning, even when I lose I'm winning, cause I give you all of me and you give me all of you. Verse 2, how many times do I have to tell you, even when you're crying you're beautiful too, the world is beating you down, I'm around through every mood, you're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues, I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. The crowd began to scream his name as his heavenly voice sang louder and louder, though the sound was drowned out in Kushina and the girls' ears as they listened with odd looks. Naruto and the clones locked eyes with him again full of growing love, kindness, and found themselves filled with protective warmth. Pre-chorus, my head's underwater but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. Chorus, cause all of me, loves all of you, love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections, give your all to me, I'll give my all to you, you're my end and my beginning, even when I lose I'm winning, cause I give you all of me and you give me all of you. Bridge, give me all of you, cards on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it all, though it's hard. Chorus, cause all of me, loves all of you, love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections, give your all to me, I'll give my all to you, you're my end and my beginning, even when I lose I'm winning, cause I give you all of me and you give me all of you, I give you all of me and you give me all of you. As he sang the clapping grew louder and louder as his voice went higher and higher till it was heard even in his own realm, much to the awe of the nymphs and Apollo's house. I give you all of me. He winked. And song, everyone whooped and yelled out his name repeatedly even the ones that saw him as a demon began to change their views about him, the loudest however were the girls he danced with. Another one. Shay cried out in anticipation getting everyone to yell agreements much to his bemusement. Okay, settle down people, and ladies keep your panties on. He said much to men's amusement while the women blushed tomato red. Naruto grinned knowing the finishing song to pick, hey ladies check this jam. He hit the play button on the stereo. Busta Rhymes feat Nicki Minaj Twerk It remix. The women froze before walking towards the floor with wide grins, confusing the guys except getting a wink from Naruto, and just watched in interest. Kushina's expression shocked the others as she began walking toward Naruto and got her own microphone. Kushina, intro, yo. You done know. This time when we come in we come fi flatline, everything in of this bumbacla till clash done. Fi real. Naruto looked at her with a mock bored expression before stepping up. Naruto, verse 1. Busta Rhymes, big man. When me talk, hear where ya fi do. Shut your mouth, listen close, where we come fi do. Shut a dung, lick a shot, blow torch a bun. Nuff excitement, see dem frightened watch dem boy yar run. Come here Gile, where ya do, what? Done with dat, duddy wine, Tony Matterhorn. Base a lick ya, mecha clap, go it off. Set die trap, don't fight ya know ya skin soft, ya done know. Sitting pawn it, go fuck it till ya'd out. So exotic, well ya suck it watch we fuck it up. So where have it, Betty big watch how me love it up. Bend over and spread and make me stick it in and burn it up, fi real. Suddenly all the women began dancing wildly and began twerking, shocking the men who began cheering them on. Kushina pressed her back into Naruto's chest along with Mina and Shay joined her. Naruto, chorus. Busta Rhymes, she twerk it. Neon lights flashed everywhere as the women twerked to the beat, though Naruto was getting the full course from Shay, Mina and Kushina having pink cheeks due to drinking quite a bit of sake at the table. His arm was wrapped around Kushina's shapely waist as he rapped like a beast. Naruto, verse 2. Busta Rhymes, me semi-finish with ya, pull up ya pants, go and go get ya friend, fi real. Dance done, come outside, fucking a die bends. Dial come, enjoy dar-eyed, watch die way me stick ya, welcome. Ya done know. Tech die dick ya friend await fi ya. Hold on da, ya man vex. Vegetate die boy. Shoot what? See my gun will evaporate dat boy. Lego dat time see how it sounds quang. Level data, dunk to dig ground, pang. Bow. Nuff of dat ya done know, best to die best. Pretty Gile, whole heap of baddie, and whole heap of breast. Physical, how ya drop it no one could attest. Digital, we Instagram it till dem Gile arrest. Chorus. Busta Rhymes. She twerk it, Kashina, bridge. When we come in we come fi flatline everything in this bumbacla till clash done. Fi real. Shamina. Verse 3. Nicki Minaj. Duddy Gile, when ya see me here where ya fi do. Bow down. Big chain, and it heavy too. Respect, how dem guan like me na pave way. Queen ya, times London wait fi die same wave. Come here boy, bo cat tree are rich. Where ya wallet? Yeah ya have it show me it. Hartle, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer 2. Rolled eye weed, plus a Dutcher Rizla 2. It out, Flipland pawn ya head Gile. Brooklyn, when we shoot, neck Gile. Trinidad, and James, me a chat bout. Hussy Hall, away about. Naruto, chorus. Busta Rhymes. She twerk it. Everyone was going crazy on the dance floor, and on stage, Anko and the other girls were giving him lustful looks, and the sake was making it even worse. Verse 4. Busta Rhymes. And me walk like a champion, swing like a stallion. Would die too big medallion, good ya perfect. Show demmed eye action, bad Gile concoction. Cool now, relax mon, ya nervous. Skin out and done die place, spin round and show ya face. Open and close ya case, for chuck and work it. Me hold on time, Gile wine ya waistline. Follow. Die baseline right now, stir it, ya done know. Round like a bowl of super, round like a hula hoop. Round like ya baddie cute and do it on purpose. Whine like a yard woman, grind like ya one. Jump up and wave ya hand me tink, she know. Chorus. Busta Rhymes. She twerk it. Mina, Kashina and Shay weren't helping due to their shapely rears rubbing against him so sexually, and he finally let the alcohol influence his mind. Then song, Mina, Shay, and Kashina squealed when Naruto tossed them over his shoulder, along with Hitomi, Anko, Yugao, Kurenai, Mibuyuki, and Sakiri, Mikoto, Asana, and the girls that came with him, shocking everyone at the physical strength he possessed while clapping for his performance from tonight. Well, the perverts grinned with bleeding noses, knowing what's gonna happen next, and a lot of people were gonna be pissed about it. Boy. Just to let you guys know, the next book of Sorrowful Love will be out when the Chunin exams are initiated. But keep it on the down low, deuces. Yelled Naruto over the music, throwing up a V sign, vanishing in a gold flash much to everyone's awe, while Jiraiya had a huge angry scowl. The brat has no need for the power he has right now. It's stated in the prophecy that he's supposed to be a beacon of light for the ones that hate him. That power belongs to those who rightfully deserve it. Jiraiya grunted and sunshine to a safe place to stake out the compound, maybe get some new material for Icha, and demand why his godson dared to make a book better than him. That wasn't even smut. It was an insult to his pride and dream. Naruto painted with a bit of sweat dripping down his face and smiled, seeing the tired, satisfied looks on their faces before taking them upstairs to sleep with Tsume and the others, knowing tomorrow is gonna be crazy, that's for sure. Haruko walked in only to blush seeing what her brother was doing and went back to her own room with several wet dreams, but not before putting the cleaning seals on the couches and rooms of his late activities. Next morning, Shay moaned, groggily waking up to find herself in a comfy silky soft bed with red crimson sheets covering her form, and saw she was in the house of that Adonis she got fucked by last night. She blushed with pink cheeks, never before being fucked so hard last night, and such passion, love, and ferocity. She purred and got up to go downstairs wrapped in the sheets covering her form. She then smelled the scent of cooked breakfast and like a zombie followed the smell, and in front of her was Naruto cooking a big breakfast, wearing only a pair of black boxers with red and golden dragon designs and a long-sleeved black fishnet shirt, while his spiky blonde hair was back to its wild mane, glowing beautifully from the sunlight hitting it, and those warm eyes just cemented how breathtaking her was. Hana-chan, Anko-chan, stop fighting over the last piece of toast. There's more than enough for everyone besides saving some for Shay. She's still tuckered out from last night. Naruto spoke, scolding the two kunoichi softly, and they couldn't even say no to that look in his eyes, and obediently settled down. A menace, Naruto-kun. Hana and Anko said in unison, electing chuckles from the others. Decided to join us, Shay. Yugao quipped, and everyone except a smiling Naruto, who fixed her up a plate and pulled out a chair for her along with a glass of orange juice with practiced ease and movement, shocked her. You look like you've done this forever, exclaimed a shocked Shay, taking a bite of her grilled cheese sandwich, only for her eyes to close in delight due to how perfect and fresh it tasted, and began eating with gusto. Much Odo Kurenai and Kashina's shock, as they are theirs, and cried tears of joy and delight. I've never tasted such a perfect breakfast before. How the hell did you learn how to make a simple breakfast taste like a 5-star meal? Anko shouted, demanded in desperation, wanting to know his secret, and Naruto raised an eyebrow in amusement, seeing the others wanted to know as well. I just practiced a lot of cooking during my training in Kamiheim's realm with Hestia-chan, even though she, a goddess, acknowledged I was a cook without equal. I never felt so happy to know Hestia-chan acknowledged. I had a talent similar to hers, he said slowly with a smile bright enough to warm the coldest of hearts. It's all experience, hard work, and determination that made me the man I am today. We know, and I'm proud of you, Naru-kun. Mina and Kushina grinned widely, and suddenly Naruto heard a knock at the door, raised an eyebrow before sensing who it was, and frowned with narrowed eyes. Tomi-chan, it seems your husband Hiashi-san is here. Hitomi frowned with a weary sigh. LG Naruto cut her off by walking to the door himself. Stay there Hitomi-chan, I'll deal with him. Hitomi blinked wondering when did Naruto get so protective of her, but she blushed liking his attitude. Hiashi waited outside impatiently for the demon whore's mother to open the door and bring out his woman, but when the door opened it showed Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju Uchiha, instead giving a blank emotionless stare that unnerved him a bit. Good morning Hiashi-sama, what brings you here today? Naruto spoke respectfully much to Hiashi's surprise before it turned back to his cold mask. Is Hitomi here? Hiashi demanded coolly only to get a raised eyebrow from the blonde at the demanding arrogance in his voice. Hitomi-sama isn't here Hiashi-sama. I thought she went back to her compound the other night. Hiashi glared at this boy with rage and anger, his Byakugan blazing, somehow thinking he was lying. Don't play stupid with me you demon. Naruto's expression tightened slightly and spoke this time in a cold monotone of his own. I would advise you to stop calling me by that disrespectful slander. Those stupid civilians seem to have come up with Hiashi Hyuga. Naruto's glare was more menacing than a pissed-off Byakugan glare. Kushina and the others watched this from the living room with worry feeling the rising ki in the air. You will give me the respect I deserve, you demon brat. I don't know why that stupid old fool of a Hokage gave a disobedient weapon like you a high position as a Sannin to not see the threat to our superiority like you are. Hiashi spat nearly poking Naruto in the chest, only to find his hand gripped by his shorter adversary with a steel-like grip and narrowed cold orange golden eyes. Keep your hands to yourself Hyuga team, or else I will lay you flat out on your ass and press charges for trespassing on my property, and that includes you, as well you fucking perverted toad. Naruto said loudly, and Jiraiya jumped down from his perch on the tree with a narrowed look on his face. We need to talk about that power you possess, also your seal. Naruto narrowed his dangerously at those words. I do not need to speak to you about nothing Toad Sage, my secrets are my own, unless I decide to share them. Hiashi got tired of being ignored and tried to hit Naruto with a palm strike to the lung, only to feel his hand grip tightly and winced in pain feeling the increasing pressure on his wrist. Hiashi get the fuck off of my damn property, yelled an annoyed emperor striking with random knee strikes to the stomach and face while breaking the man's nose. Hiashi glared holding his bleeding broken nose and was about to retaliate only for Jiraiya to hold him back. Hiashi stopped, he's baiting you, he wants you to get angry to provoke him into attacking. Replied a serious-faced Jiraiya, and much to his displeasure, Hiashi knew he couldn't kill the demon on the term set right now and decided to leave, but not before saying something that would forever cause conflict between his clan and Naruto. I hope your leg-spreading slut of a mother dies in a ditch. Naruto's eyes widened before narrowing, glowing with menacing evil red eyes, and before Hiashi could move, Naruto moved too fast for Jiraiya to follow and felt his arm pulled into an extended position and a hard fist to the elbow. Snap. Their eyes widened seeing Naruto begin to beat Jiraiya and Hiashi in rage and growing hate. Don't. Crack. Ever. Smash. Call. Crunch. My. DHWACK. Fushioka-chan that name again you wide-eyed bastard. Snarled Naruto grabbing Hiashi by his kimono's collar and tossed him outside the gate harshly on the ground and glared at Jiraiya. Get the fuck out of my sight Jiraiya before I fucking kill you spymaster or not. Jiraiya scampered off mentally swearing to get Naruto's abilities sealed away to be the child of prophecy, no matter the consequences. Naruto watched him run with a snort turning to walk back inside, fucking cowardly Sannin. Naruto replied in annoyance getting dressed for missions today while wondering. Hey see, and the girls should be coming here today to train smiled Naruto at getting a chance to teach his girls to defend themselves. And thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.